How about tort reform?
Tort reform, if any of, well, I don't know, do I still have time, or am I over?
Tort reform is a pretty important issue. Go ahead, if you will, and maybe Dave has a comment about it.
Okay.
You got to wrap it up here quick now.
In Pennsylvania, they've instituted various patient safety initiatives, and the amount of suits against doctors and hospitals has dropped dramatically because patient safety has been emphasized. I don't know how many of you remember the Pinto, when a $5 change in the Pinto would have saved the car from blowing up. And we watched on TV in the 70s as people were incinerated in some of those accidents. I don't believe that we should have laws that make lawyers rich, but I think we should protect people. And as a businessman, we should have some accountability for beyond our mere conscience in terms of doing what is right. So I don't believe that we should just, again, slash and burn, but we need to look at where damage with tort liability occurs. If we're driving doctors out of the state, we need to look at that. But we've been able actually to cut down the number of lawsuits tremendously with the patient safety initiatives that have been enacted.
Mr. Huffman, can you give us an opinion on tort reform here in a minute?
Well, I'd rather talk about the Pinto that he just mentioned. That was my first car, and I drove around for 2 years with a hole in the floor. That brings back memories. Tort reform. Yes, and I wrote this down because I think it's important that I get the wording right on this, and so we understand what that is. Tort reform would be to address the lawsuit lottery issue. Basic principle is that a person can only be held liable to pay for the percentage of the total damage award that reflects the person's proportionate share of contributions to the injury. It's been creating a problem, and this will place the responsibility then on the basis of a person's conduct, not on who has the deepest financial pockets. And yes, I would agree that we do need to have some tort reform, and there are other legislative issues dealing with lawsuit abuse, which is a whole stack here that I have. One of them from Representative Everett, capping of attorney fees, which is a proposed constitutional amendment to establish caps on attorney fees in liability cases, but that's a whole nother issue. Thank you.
Okay, folks, we have 9 minutes left, and we have about 6 candidates who have opportunities for wrap-up, and that would be just a little over a minute for each one. Mr. Huffman?
Well, a lot of insight into my thought process is since we've never really served as legislators, I feel that your evaluation is based upon basically how we're thinking and how we approach some of these problems more than anything else. And in terms of communication, hopefully I've been able to communicate to you honesty, sincerity, with a strong work ethic. And hopefully I've also communicated my experience throughout this campaign in both public and private sectors, including serving as a legislative aide, working directly for legislators, handling important constituent work, helping to craft legislation, scheduling people to testify at committee hearings, and working closely with legislators. So I already have that important experience. I've also served on numerous boards and commissions, and I've volunteered much of my time and talent to public endeavors. In short, I have had great preparation for this job as state representative, and I stand ready to serve the people of the 83rd District. And I want to recognize and thank everyone supporting this campaign, and including the citizens of the district. And I would ask for your vote for Dave Huffman on November 4th. Thank you.
Mr. Mirabito.
It's so hard in such a short time for people to get to know what someone's heart is and also what their head is about. I hope you will go to my website, www.rickforpa.com. Look there. I talk about a lot of the issues in depth. We face some challenging times ahead of us, not just economically, but also in terms of our families and in terms of our children. And we need to go together on this journey that I believe is going to be very exciting for us, and at the same time it's going to be an important struggle. I'm asking you for your vote today, and more importantly, I'm asking you to talk to your neighbors and talk to 5 people and ask them to get to know me. I will be at the Du Bois Town VFW on Monday night at 6 o'clock if you'd like to talk some more. You can always call, but I believe that I have the training, the education, the skills, and the ability to try to make positive change for the citizens of Lycoming County. And I believe it's because I have an investment in the community, and because I have a commitment, and because I have a certain amount of excitement about the future, that regardless of political party, Republican or Democrat, that we can work together to try to use the resources that we have to move this community ahead, both for ourselves and for our children. I ask for your vote on November 4th. Thank you.